Are you curious what's happening in the real estate market? Stay tuned and watch the rest of this video. All right, in this week's update on the real estate market, we're going to run through 5 different stats. The first one we want to talk about is new listings week over week. When you take a look at our chart, you're going to see that we had a lot of activity the week of 3/15 to 3/21. Things cooled down a little bit as the uncertainty of the coronavirus came into play, and now we've picked back up. Sellers are getting a little more confidence in the market, and so we've seen a steady incline in listings, which is great. Our next stat we're going to talk about is under contract. As you can see, it's been steady growth during this time period when the coronavirus came into play. We're really seeing a lot of activity. In fact, we saw a pretty significant jump 2 weeks ago, and the trend seems to be continuing. So if you're thinking about selling, this is a great time to get yourself in the market. Next thing we'll talk about is the average list price, and it's been a little bit of an up and down, as you can see. I'd like to see a little longer time period to see how that's going to look, but this is a pretty normal number for us, so I'm not going to derive a lot of information from that. Next to last, we're going to talk about the list to sale price ratio. This is definitely a lagging indicator in the market because these are transactions that have already been in play for 60 days or 90 days. And it's fairly flat, although this graph looks like it's pretty dramatic. We're running a range between 98.6% of list price versus sale price ratio down to 97.97. So not a huge difference in itself. Here's the piece that I really wanted to talk heavily about this time around, which is showing activity. What we're looking at is when you see about the time the uncertainty started to come into play in early March with the coronavirus, we started to see a drop in showing activity. So there's 2 different scales you're going to see on here. The heavier line up top is last year's showing activity. And you can see in our normal market, it started to ramp up in the spring and continued on upward. What happened to us in early March, because of the coronavirus concern, we started to see a flattening. And then as it really became a concern nationwide, we saw a massive drop in showings. That is buyer activity in showings. Recently, in the last couple of weeks, or last week especially, we're seeing that it's flattened out, which I think is a really good sign. What I want you to understand from this is there have always been a certain number of looky-loos or tire kickers out there. What we're seeing is those people are now staying home, and the people who really do want to buy or need to buy, they are still engaged in the market. As long as we see this trend staying flat like this or going up, I think we're in a good position. And as long as we continue to see listings coming on the market, I think that's a great position as well. Stay tuned. We're going to come out with these videos more. You're going to see lots of detailed information about it. If you'd like to know about what's happening in your neighborhood, send me a message. I'm happy to help you out.